Welcome to the 2017 Lawrence High School Cardinal Awards. On behalf of our superintendent, our building administration, we'd like to welcome all of our families, our friends, and guests who are here today. My name is Dave Adam, our principal here at Lawrence High School. And this morning, our job is to honor some of very, very impressive students here at our high school. Not just our seniors, though our seniors are very important, and they're going to be leaving us very soon. We also want to take a chance to honor some of our underclassmen. A couple of quick highlights before we get started. As you can see, this is a buffet bar, so that means you may go back more than once. There's plenty of food, there's drinks up there, there's a lot to enjoy. So if you hadn't got a chance to finish it as our program goes along, please feel free to jump back up there. Take as much as you'd like. Also, if I could just take a quick minute and recognize the individual who helped put all this together. Ms. Lopez, our assistant principal, she's a big driving force putting this together, so if you could give her a big round of applause and thank her for today. Thank you, Ms. Lopez. So as we said this morning, it's our Cardinal Awards. It's representing all of our groups that do so much for not only our high school here, but also our community in Mercer County, our community in New Jersey, but also, as many of you know, our community around the globe. And if you take a minute, and this is what this morning is all about, just a little bit of reflection, if you take a minute and look at what our students are involved in, and what they do, and how they interact with each other, and what they attempt to do to give back to these communities, it's very, very impressive. And unfortunately, we don't take the time to reflect. We're always looking on to that next thing. But today, this morning is about stopping for a minute and thinking about what is it that our kids are involved with. And you and I may not know everything that they do or what they accomplish for all of us. So as all of our teachers are going to come up this morning and say a few words about these students, our impressive students, you're going to hear more about what they do behind the scenes. And every year when we have these kind of programs, at the end of the program, I just shake my head and say, how do they get it all done? How do they fit it all in? In addition to coming to school and doing everything they do for school every single day. So that's what this morning is about. Reflecting, stopping, listening, enjoying a little bit of time with each other. When was the last time you guys had a full breakfast like this on a Monday or Tuesday morning with your kids? It doesn't happen. I don't have it with my own kids. So enjoy this moment. We don't get these very often. And for those who are seniors, we just want to take a minute and say congratulations. Good luck. We will miss you. I will see you next Tuesday night, but we will miss you as you move on to the next part of your life. If I could ask everyone to turn to their programs on the back of their programs, just a reminder that we have graduation June 20th, next Tuesday at the Sunbank Arena. Just one little typo. It says 7 o'clock. That's 3 o'clock was last year. It's 7 o'clock for this year. So I just want to make sure I clear that up so there's no confusion about that. So 7 o'clock, Sunbank Arena, and we'll have our graduation ceremony. Okay? So again, congratulations to all of the awardees today. As the teachers are being called up, I'm going to ask our students to come up with their teacher. You're going to stand right over here so that we can have some pictures taken of you, and we'll go through with our program. Okay? Again, parents, thank you for being here this morning. We very much appreciate all of your support throughout the years, and have a great rest of your morning. So, having said that, you're done listening to me, because I didn't bring anybody with me. I'm all by myself here. I want to get started. So let's bring up Ms. Baldwin in the first award. So Ms. Baldwin, come on down. Ms. Rivera, come on down. Have a great rest of the morning. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning. Enjoy your breakfast. I'm here to present 2 awards, one for the fall drama and one for the spring musical. The fall drama I'm going to present to Rachel Rivera, who was one of our stage managers for the show. And just a little tidbit about the show, it was a Christmas carol. And during the show, during every show, we have tech rehearsals where we wear headsets so we can communicate with the people backstage. Rachel was on one of the headsets, and I was on one of the headsets, and I was taking notes. And during every tech rehearsal, what I was thinking about what was going on stage, like why was that light cube late? Why was he moving that prop there? Rachel was saying it in my ear. She was actually saying what I was thinking. So it was amazing and magical, and that kind of student needs to be recognized. And I wanted to say also that Rachel, I gave her a senior award last week, so I'm going to repeat some of this information. But Rachel cares about the whole show, not just her part in it. She cares about the whole show, that making the whole thing look good, no matter what part she is, if she's on stage or off. And I respect her for that, and I will miss her dearly for that. And I hope she continues in college with theater because she's excellent. My other award, I was asking my husband last night, I said, what should I say about Tori? I just really like her. And he said, well, why don't you say that? So I'm gonna say, I just really like Tori. Tori is an amazing stage manager for the musical, The Little Mermaid. And she was a stage manager last year too, so she knows the ropes. We had a costumer that we were dealing with this year that was very needy. He was calling me all the time, so I was always pulled away from rehearsal on the phone with him. And Tori would take over rehearsal. She would just take over and make sure everything kept flowing and kept right on going. She also spent countless hours in my room on her own time during her lunch, gluing seagrass together and making lanterns and just doing things to make the show look good. And also, another thing, every teacher should have a Tori, because when things got stressful in the musical, as they usually do, Tori would always know, and she would come up to me and say, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, Miss B, everything's all right. Everything's cool. And she would do that, and I so appreciate it, and I'm so glad that I have her for another year. So thank you, Tori, and congratulations.
All right, up next, coming off the heels of a wonderful spring concert, is the director of our gospel choir, Ms. Clark, who nominated Marjorie Garcia Sanchez.
Good morning. This is indeed a pleasure to have the opportunity to stand before you and recognize the students. So I want to tell you a little bit about Marjorie. So as a freshman, she walked nervously into gospel choir auditions. Her little round face was covered with a big smile, and she had the daunting task of wearing that smile and trying to cover her shyness and her nervousness. She approached the piano and confidently belted out a song. To this day, I really can't tell you what the name of the song was because I really don't remember the name of the song. All I do remember is the heat of tears forming in my eyes. I had never cried during an audition before, ever. And I've heard several students sing, but never had I cried during an audition. What was happening? She literally blew me away that day, and she was only a freshman. I abruptly stopped her and told her that she had sang enough, like that's it, you're good, no more verses, and that she could leave. She smiled and she walked out. I sat there for a moment with the musician in awe, and I kept thinking, wow, she's only a freshman. So over the course of the past 4 years, I've watched this little shy, nervous freshman grow into a remarkable young lady. She's beautiful, intelligent, kind, meek, strong, and talented beyond words. She has served as alto section leader for the past 3 years, and she has served faithfully as the president of the gospel choir this year. She was an outstanding leader, and she gained the respect and loyalty of her peers. Until I met Marjorie, I'd only said this about one other student. Out of thousands I've grown acquainted with, I've only said this about one other student. That is, if I'm ever blessed with a child, and she's a girl, may she be just like this year's Gospel Choir Cardinal recipient. Beautiful, intelligent, talented beyond words, kind, meek, and strong. I'm praying for your blessings in your life, many blessings, and much success. I love you, Marjorie, and congratulations.
I'm actually going to skip Ms. Confoy. I know I said I was going to go in order, but she can't be here, so I want the next group of people. So actually, Ms. Kehoe is not here, and she nominated a lot of different people because she does a lot of different, she's in charge of a lot of different organizations, but in her stead is Ms. Mandy Johnson, who is our choral director, so she will come up and I think present for about 5 people. So, Ms. Johnson.
Good morning. So, yes, I'm Mandy Johnson. I'm the choral director here at LHS, and I am presenting the awards for the music department today. So, bear with me. We've got a few really awesome people to talk about. In fact, when I sat down to write this last night, I was looking at the list of students who were nominated for a Cardinal Award today. And it struck me that more than half of the achievers here this morning, selected by discerning teachers across curriculums and grade levels throughout this institution, are enrolled in music ensembles here at LHS. This alone speaks to the strong character and the intrepid spirit of the students that Ms. Kehoe and I have the pleasure of teaching each day, because this honor is bestowed only upon students who go beyond academic excellence to become leaders in our school. So the first award that I'm going to present is the Choral Award. And the first student that I get to talk about this morning has been a member of music and performing arts in many and varied capacities throughout her time here at LHS. And her dedication in subjects from music theory to multiple performing ensembles and even tri-M led to these scaffolding layers of experience that she used to benefit every group she's been a part of. As a musician, she challenges herself to arrange and exhibit musical excellence in every piece. As a leader, she found the strength to run sectional rehearsals and conduct. And beyond all of this, I got to watch her support and encourage others while refusing to compromise her high standards. This student, who appeared so quiet and timid when I first met her, has become a pillar of one of the loudest organizations in school. Congratulations, Maho Kurisu. All right, the second award I will be presenting for Ms. Kehoe, and this is for Jazz Band. The Lawrence High School Jazz Band is an extracurricular ensemble that meets weeknights from late November until March and requires an elevated level of dedication from its members. The Cardinal Award for Jazz Band goes to a student who has shown this heightened passion for jazz band, not just this year, but throughout the last 4. He's been the backbone of the ensemble, laying down steady time and intelligent fills consistently at each meeting and performance. Throughout the music department and school community, this student has become a mentor for others and has raised the bar of what it means to be mature, respectful, and a talented musician and student. In jazz band, this student has never backed down from solos, small group pieces, extra rehearsals, and teaching opportunities. And we consider ourselves incredibly lucky to have had the opportunity to teach this student. Ms. Kehoe has had him for 2 years, and the entire music department will miss him next year. It's my pleasure to give the Cardinal Award for Jazz Band to Samir Agarwal. All right, next, the Pit Orchestra. The Pit Orchestra performs music for the Spring Musical, and the members of this ensemble are given the task of performing honestly, some of the most challenging music they will encounter in their high school career. The music we read is the exact same music that a Broadway musician performs here at Lawrence. Here at our high school, we do this entirely with a student ensemble. So some places will hire people in because they're very, very difficult scores, but here we have an entirely student-run pit. Given this challenge, students are responsible for learning the majority of the music on their own at home before coming to rehearsal. The recipient of the Cardinal Award for Pit Orchestra was always prepared, had questions ready to go, and was eager to learn and participate. This student has been a standout in every ensemble she's part of, but made it a point during Pit Orchestra to mentor a younger student and prepare them for future years in the group. As a music teacher, there is nothing you could want more than for students to pass down traditions of great performance, strong work ethic, and kindness. For this, we will be forever grateful to this student, and I hope that she knows in future years that when we ask our students to close their eyes and think of a former student who made band special for them, their name will surely be the first in many members' minds. The Cardinal Award for marching for Pit Orchestra goes to Nashra. All right, next the award for marching band. So it's no secret that the students in the marching band here at LHS are some of the most spirited and dedicated students walking the hall. However, what has been most noteworthy for us and for Ms. Kehoe as a director these past 2 years goes beyond musical ability or school pride. What stands out most is the level of maturity, respect, and kindness students in the marching band show to others. The recipient of this award respects these traits daily, regardless of the situation or if they know anyone is observing. He lights up the room with his quick wit and bright smile and never hesitates to help others during rehearsals. His musical ability improves daily due to diligent practice and the drive to succeed in all the areas our group holds dear. This student will continue to be a pillar of the marching band next year, and I'm proud to present the Cardinal Award for Marching Band to Johnny Bryant. All right, and I swear this is my last one. So the last award I get to present is the Tri-M Award, and this is one that Ms. Kehoe and I work on heavily together throughout the year. For those of you who don't know, Tri-M is a national music honor society, and it recognizes musical achievement, academic excellence, and community service, all while setting the expectation that student members will take charge of shaping the group's direction and goals. All of our Tri-M members work to embody this description, but the student I'm here to nominate today has gone above and beyond these goals. This student has been an active and dedicated member of the music department throughout his time at LHS, leading the way both in musicianship and in serving his community through Tri-M, and by assisting in many student support programs here at the high school. In the past year alone, he has been a section leader in 3 different ensembles, as well as a music assistant and a larger-than-life character in The Little Mermaid. While a leader in Tri-M, Felipe pushed for greater student responsibility and engagement in a way that has evolved Tri-M into a more independent, efficient group. Congratulations, Felipe Alonso Campos.
All right, next will be Mr. Doug Leonard, who is the advisor of the Lawrencian, who nominated Emily Ma.
Good morning, everybody. Move the mic.
I have the honor and privilege of presenting this award to Emily Ma for her excellence in scholastic journalism. Our school newspaper is somewhat digital, but it's still available, of course, in print copy. So one of the important factors in creating artwork, which Emily does magnificently for the paper, is the ability to convey her images in black and white. Her use of clean lines, her use of sharp features on the caricatures she creates for her political cartoons are the best I have ever seen, and I have worked with students with newspapers for, this will be 7 or 8 years. I was floored when I came in September and saw the quality of her work. Emily possesses sharp wit as far as the humor she puts into her work. She also possesses punctuality in terms of meeting deadlines, which is critically essential for any type of journalistic publication. She has always been one of the first students ready to submit her work. She has demonstrated flexibility in meeting the differing desires for story topics from our editors. She's always been positive. She has always been a critical part to every single issue that we have produced. We literally could not produce an effective paper without her, and I'm so very grateful for her talent and her spirit and her positivity, her punctuality, and everything that makes her who she is. And I am especially fond to say, or thrilled to say, that we will have her continue with her contributions into next year. So the paper's very lucky to have a student such as her. So thank you, Emily.
And next will be Ms. Mallon, who is the co-advisor for the National Honor Society, who nominated Lisa Smith.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Mrs. Herzog and I would like to recognize Lisa Smith today. To be recognized as an officer in an organization comprised of members who are themselves leaders, literally those who represent our top scholars and leaders within our school community, is not as easy as it sounds. And yet this student elected to run for an officer's position, a position that demands endless work and at times unending responsibility. Not only does Lisa represent the best of our National Honor Society members, she did so with characteristic organizational skills, patience, enthusiasm, a fierce determination, incredibly good humor, and considerable grace. Whether she was trying to gather all 45 senior puppies in the Cardinal Jeopardy box, or creating a long list of seniors helping students in the Cardinal Nest, or figuring out how to bring Herzog and Mallon's, aka Mertzog's, big ideas and rapid-fire speech to fruition, this senior rose to every challenge. It is for these reasons that Mrs. Herzog and I are proud to recognize this year's Secretary for the National Honor Society, Lisa Smith, for the Cardinal Award. Lisa, we couldn't have done it without you.
Before I call up Ms. Schneck, who is the Deca advisor, the bell is going to ring and you're going to hear a slew of announcements. So Ms. Schneck might have to pause for a moment, but so I'm just letting you know that's going to come. So Ms. Schneck, who nominated Victoria Wiersbowitz.
Good morning, everybody. For those of you that don't know, Deca is a co-curricular organization for marketing students to work on skills such as organizational skills, work ethic skills. So we try to take these students from 9th graders all the way to senior year and get them ready for the business world. And because I am the advisor, I have an opportunity to really work long hours with these students and get to form some really great relationships, and Victoria is one of them. Vicki is one of my Deca officers. She's an officer for the Business and International Academy, and she co-chaired this year our 50th anniversary celebration. That was a huge undertaking, and she met with me and her other co-chair people on a daily basis. We had our Wednesday evenings where we were here sometimes from 4 to 8, and she fit all this in between soccer and lacrosse and peer leader and a job. She's unbelievable. When we started the project, we set goals with administration of things that we wanted to accomplish. And I was a little nervous that this was going to be a huge undertaking and that we weren't going to be able to do it. Mr. Adams is shaking his head back there. But Vicki and the other two co-advisors stepped right up to the plate. Her work ethic, unbelievable. She did it with a smile every day, which kept me calm because I was starting to get really nervous. And she's like, I got it, Ms. Schneck. And she did it with a smile. So I'm like, oh, she has it. All right. So, Victoria, you really deserve this award. We got to travel to Cali, Nashville, and we have one more year together, and hopefully that'll even be a better year. So congratulations.
So Mr. Adam called the office to tell them to not make any announcements, which is why you're not hearing any. That's why he's the principal. Okay, next up will be Ms. Elliott, who is the advisor for the Library Volunteer Club, who nominated Aaron Burke.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is our second award for Aaron. He was nominated by us, by our library club, to be a Student of the Month. And part of what I'm about to say is going to be pretty much the same because it was fairly recent. But first, probably some of you are wondering, why is library giving out an award? Because this year we did a lot in the library, and a lot has to do with Aaron being our leader team member. Aaron was our first library volunteer, and very quickly we realized what a valuable team member he is. We told him that we want to create a team of library volunteers, and he said he can help, and he did. Aaron can tell you that working in the library is not only about shelving books. Big part of our work in the library is about advocacy. We need to spread the word about what we do and why and how. Aaron is great at that. Ms. Hall and I included him in our meetings when we planned our events. He led the library volunteers in the working on some of the projects, such as inventory, or he created an amazing digital presentation. But that's not all. Aaron is a natural leader. He is not afraid to speak in front of groups of people. For example, he led the group of volunteers in the cafeteria during the school's open house. And recently, he had a chance to speak to some of our middle schoolers about our library volunteering program when they came to visit us. And most important, his peers really listen to him. Aaron is able to recognize when there is an opportunity for him to learn and grow. He didn't have to come to the library as a volunteer. He didn't need volunteering hours, yet he has the most hours. He spent in the library over 110 hours this school year. What he learned in our program are real, lifelong skills. Aaron is very mature and enthusiastic, full of ideas and easy to work with. Even if he doesn't become a librarian, he will be great at whatever he does in future. Thank you.
Next will be Ms. Nicole Walter, who is one of the co-advisors to our peer leadership group, and we have two nominees, Kelsey Holt and Kayla Christ.
Good morning. Thanks for coming. My name is Nicole Walter. I'm one of 4 advisors for the Peer Leadership Program at Lawrence High School. This is my 8th year of being an advisor. Just to tell you a little bit about the commitment that it takes to be in the student leadership or peer leadership program. These ladies applied when they were sophomores in March, and they had to fill out a written application. Then they had to suffer through group interviews. They started their first meeting in June of their sophomore year. Then they had to come over the summer and do trainings in August. Then one of the jobs of the peer leaders is to run the freshman orientation in the summer, usually August 31st. And so they're here at 7 in the morning, and they get dismissed around 1:30 in the afternoon, and they run the program. And it is a crazy busy day with 275 brand new freshmen in the building. So imagine the energy of all that puberty happening. And then all year they run freshman seminars. So they work with small groups of freshmen once a month to ease the transition to Lawrence High School and try to promote success for our incoming freshmen. And in addition to that, they're ambassadors not just for the school and the freshmen, but they're also really ambassadors to the rest of the community. So the peer leaders come here for back to school night and help decorate and then help parents know where to go. And then they help run the character kickoff at LIS. And they're here for parent-teacher conferences and the LHS open house and so many events throughout the year. So it's a huge time commitment. And both of these ladies, Kelsey and Kayla, have been doing it for 2 years, and they've been doing it with grace and a smile, and they just put their all into it. So I wanted to give them the Cardinal Award. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, now's the part of the ceremony where I get to stay here for a while and read and talk about great things about several students. So we're going to go back, and I did say that Ms. Confoy was unable to be here at this time, so I'm going to ask Margaret Tran to come on up, and I'm going to read what Ms. Confoy wrote about Margaret. This student is the deserving recipient of the Cardinal Award for Excellence on the debate team because of her enthusiasm, leadership, and contributions to the team during the fall 2016 debate season. As a veteran member of the team, she was essential not only in teaching the new participants the rules of the competition, but modeled for the entire team how to conduct themselves as a group working together toward a common goal. Margaret Tran's respectful and personable style, dedication to doing her best, and willingness to lead helped set a cooperative tone for the season and gave the entire team a leg up in the competition this year. We're grateful for her contributions to our season and look forward to a new, fresh season of competition in the fall. Thank you, Margaret, and congratulations. All right, and next I'm going to be speaking for Ms. Katz, who also could not be here today, and she is the advisor for Student Helpings Honduras. So if we could have Nell Evans coming up. So I'm reading Ms. Katz's words. I remember the day Nell came into my office to tell me she was interested in going to Honduras with me during the summer of 2015. I was really excited because we had talked about it in the past, and I had always hoped she would be able to join us. Nell is one of the few students who had gotten a letter back from the kids in Honduras when I went for the first time in 2012. Knowing Nell's interest and involvement in community service, I immediately invited her to spend an extra week in Honduras to attend leadership training. My current club officers were graduating, and I wanted Nell on the executive board of Students Helping Honduras for the upcoming school year. For the past 2 years, Nell has served as co-president and has been instrumental in growing our Lawrence High School chapter as well as raising a lot of money to build schools in Honduras. This past year, we raised $25,000 to completely fund a school in northern Honduras, which we also broke ground on last summer, and we'll be heading back in just a few weeks to slap on a coat of cardinal red paint and celebrate the inauguration. There are very few students with whom I would feel comfortable traveling out of the country on multiple occasions, but Nell is unique in both her dedication to the cause as well as her level of maturity and willingness to step outside her comfort zone. She truly has been what I would call the face of SHH, Students Helping Honduras, at Lawrence High School. And I do not know if there is anyone else capable of the successes she has accomplished these past 3 years in her position as co-president and international volunteer. I feel so very fortunate to not only know Nell as a person and a student, but also to have worked by her side, passing cinder blocks and buckets of cement, kicking soccer balls, and hanging out with our crew in Villa Soleada. I'm honored to present this award to Nell Elena Evans. Nell, I will miss you next year, but I know you will do incredible things in college and beyond. And the last person I'm going to be reading for is Mr. Tom Irving, who is in charge of the district media crew. He's an incredibly busy man, as he is the only person in his position for the entire district. So right now he's actually not even here because he had already committed to working something at one of the elementary schools. So he also had some words, very nice words to say about the person he nominated, Braden Poland. So if you could come on up. It seems hard to believe, but this student has been working with me going on 3 years now. He started out simply running a camcorder for the LTPS TV and has advanced to become one of my go-to guys for lights and sound in the LHS auditorium. While always hardworking, he's become a take charge kind of guy when working with the crew. At the recent senior prom assembly, he was the tech director in the auditorium booth, assisting and directing new members on the crew for this important program. He still gets behind the camera as well, where he's always concerned about doing his best. Some of you may have seen his fine camera work recently on the LTPS TV coverage of the Lawrence Township Memorial Day Parade. When the rest of the crew packed up and left at the end of the parade, it was this student who volunteered to run over to Veterans Park with a camera and record the Memorial Day observance following the parade. I look forward to working with him this summer and again next year, when he will continue to be an inspiration to other students. My pick for recognition for the second annual Cardinal Awards program as an outstanding part of the LTPS TV and the District Media Center is Braden Poland. All right, so next we're going to have Miss Bruner, who is the class advisor for the class of 2019, and she nominated Isabella Muse.
Good morning. As the class advisor, I've had the pleasure to work with many students over the past 2 years. Isabella has stood out because she's the student that always volunteers. The minute I ask for help, which is often, she's the first one to raise her hand and to go. Every day she walks into honors English with a smile. Her optimism is contagious. Her peers look to her as a role model, and I look to her for help at all times for ideas for fundraisers. Her creativity is outstanding. For someone so young, she is definitely mature beyond her years. And it's been a pleasure to work with her, and I am ecstatic that she won officer next year, so she will be with me again to help. So Isabella, congratulations.
We're going to go out of order, sorry. We're going to skip down to the Yearbook Award. And Miss Erico, our Yearbook Advisor, will be presenting. So Madison Miller, if you could come on up.
Good morning. I just want to say congratulations to everyone. This is such a cool thing that we get to do, just to recognize the kids that kind of work behind the scenes in all of our programs here at Lawrence. I've had the pleasure of knowing Madison since she was in elementary school. She used to do rec field hockey, and I was the coach. And then she played field hockey for me for the past 3 years. And this year, she took my yearbook class. The yearbook class is a senior-dominated class, and I have 5 juniors in it this year, Madison being one of them. And I could not have been happier that she chose to take the class. As a junior, Madison has risen to the occasion. She has become a leader in the senior-dominated class and has helped me on a daily basis. Madison goes above and beyond what is asked of her. If I say we need donations from local restaurants, the next day Madison comes in with 15 donations from restaurants, being the only kid out of 20 kids who goes out and puts herself out there to be denied or for these businesses to accept it. Madison is super organized, she worked well on the pages, and she helps me stay afloat because the class it's a lot of work. And I mean, all my seniors this year were amazing, and I just really couldn't have done this year without her, so thank you, Madison.
All right, going back in order. Ms. Huber, who is the advisor for the class of 2020, who nominated Ariana Rodi.
Good morning. As a freshman class advisor, it's always difficult to know if you're going to have students that are coming up from the middle school that are going to get so involved and that are going to help you out. So I was very nervous at the beginning of the year, but now at the end of the year, I am very happy that I had great officers, and Ariana was one of those officers. I am sad to see her go next year, but hopefully she will continue to help us out in all of our efforts. This year, she always came in, I had her as a student as well, she always came into the classroom happy, very energetic. She was always willing to help. If I needed something during the day, I could say, hey, can you reach out to the officers or to your class? And she would be more than welcoming into everything that I asked of her. As you looked around the school when she had to put up fundraising campaign posters or fundraising things, they were always above and beyond what I could ever expect. So I am very pleased to give Ariana Rodi this Cardinal Award for all of her help this year with the freshman class.
And next will be Ms. Cheryl Eng, who is the advisor for Operation Smile, who nominated Haley Davis.
It is my pleasure to nominate Haley Davis for this award. This whole thing out because I can't believe it's been 4 years since we met, and she started out, she's come such a long way. She was very shy as a freshman, but now you all know her as being one of the top school leaders and plays and everything else. So it's so great to see this wonderful transformation. She is, as I said, a wonderful leader. She's creative, artistic. She's a team player, and most of all, she's someone I can count on. Over the past 4 years, I'll really miss you. And she served as our vice president of the Op Smile Club for the past 2 years, but participating all along. But she has really picked up and done so much over the past 2 years. I'm going to just quickly run through some things that she's done. It's just so impressive and inspirational. She started by applying for a mission with our Operation Smile team, and it's the international branch of Operation Smile. And only a very few students are chosen from the United States even. And she was chosen to go on a mission to Monterrey, Mexico, where she and one other student helped to work with both patients and their families to educate them about basic healthcare modules and also to screen patients before and after surgery. She was helping them. And I would say it was life-changing for her, I would say. And then because of her dedication and hard work, she applied to both a regional council and also to the international council, where she has been a team leader, and she mentors students from all over the world at our international student leadership councils. Last year in San Diego, and this year she will be leading students in Italy, Rome, Italy, in July. And as a volunteer, she even wants to do more. She's going to continue a gap year after she leaves Lawrence High School. She's going to take a year and work with Operation Smile, volunteering as an intern to be a child life specialist, which she gets to work with families and little kids and just learn more about different operations and what happens behind the scenes. And I don't know, I just can't say enough about her. I'm so proud of her, and it is my great honor to award you with this.
And I'm going to ask Ms. Vaughn, who is actually the advisor for two organizations, Tangents and Interact. She first nominated Jeremy Wilson, and so if you could come on up for Tangents.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to read my comments, if you don't mind. I actually wrote out my speech because I have two in a row to do, and I also like to give the kids my little token. So I like to give them my words as well on paper. Congratulations to everybody today. What an exciting way to end the year. I'm the advisor for the high school's creative magazine called Tangents, and I'd like to honor Jeremy for his contributions this year. I first met Jeremy 3 years ago when he was just a freshman, and I found him to be extremely bright, very energetic, quite unique, and incredibly creative. Yet there was this one thing that drove me a little bit crazy. Every Wednesday after school, when we held our meetings in the classroom, Jeremy used my whiteboard and whiteboard markers, and he created all over the whiteboard. It was his creative outlet. He produced all kinds of interesting drawings. And by 4 o'clock, it of course was all erased. And he didn't just make a little picture or put up a little quote. I mean, he covered the board. So it doesn't seem like the biggest deal in the world, except for every Thursday morning when I'd go to use the board, none of my markers worked, ever. So I thought, oh, that's Jeremy, and I'd have to hide my markers from him. So soon the artwork kind of came to an end. But from that time on, I watched Jeremy grow into this mature young man and a really cool person. He's been contributing creatively to our magazine for the past 3 years with his wit and his unique perspective. But I wanted to recognize him today, not necessarily for those efforts, although they're all there. He consistently attended our meetings, he contributed work to the magazine, but this year he played an integral role in actually getting the book produced. And that's no easy feat. Quite simply, if it weren't for his efforts in designing the magazine and rallying the support of his peers to get it done, it wouldn't have been done. So Jeremy, I thank you and congratulate you on a job very well done. And here, this is for you. I expect you to not let a teacher who wants to hoard supplies so that they last the year kill your creativity, and I expect you to use them September when we start again. So this is for you, my words, your award. right, so next up, I'll just do your job, Ms. Lopez. Interact, Casey Rue. A little short. Okay, so I'm going to read again. The Interact Club at the high school is our community service club. It's made up of some of the most awesome students who I'm very lucky to know and work with throughout the years. Coordinating community service efforts among the most hardworking and talented students in our building is not easy. They're busy. They're in honors and AP classes, they play sports, participate in theater, they're in the band, they figure out how the universe works in STEM. They're doing all kinds of things. Yet they still give their time and effort to give back to our community. And among those students is one who has stood out immensely. And not just this year, but every year she's been part of the club, and that's Casey. This year, Casey served as the club's president. The philosophy behind Interact is that students lead. They give input, they make the decisions, they plan, they execute the activities that they choose to get involved in. I'm there simply for guidance, support, and the approval process, basically. So as I mentioned, the students who get involved in the club are the busiest in the high school, yet Casey did a phenomenal job of leading the way. She set goals, and she knew what she wanted to accomplish. She communicated effectively to me, to the members of our group, and to the organizations in our community. This year, we participated in events for the Homefront Family Development Center, which provides shelter for homeless families, the Lawrence Senior Center, the Red and White Club here at the high school, fundraisers, Delaware Raritan Canal Cleanup, and Diversity Day, to name just a few. Considering how much Casey and all of our members already do, this is quite a lot. Yet knowing Casey, she probably feels it still isn't enough. Casey has demonstrated to me not only that she has a caring heart because she wants to give back and do so much for everyone else, but also that she's a strong leader. I could depend on her. I never had to worry. She knew what she wanted to do, and she made it happen. I'm so grateful for the chance to work with her this year. And though I'm sad to see her go, I know that she modeled exactly the right behaviors for the next group of leaders who will crop up and walk in her shoes next year. So congratulations, Casey, not only on these efforts and the smiles that you have brought to all of us, but everything you've done in the high school. You're amazing. So here you go.
And last but not least, Miss Jackie Witt, who is the advisor of the Math League, who nominated Anusha Argawal.
All right. Oh, hi for me. There we go. All right. So I'm Miss Witt. I'm the advisor for Math League, and I'm very pleased to present this award to Anusha Agrawal. Anusha is one of my officers for Math League, and she was an officer for this past year, and she'll be an officer again with us next year. And I have to keep reminding myself that all the accomplishments that Anusha's had so far with us in Math League, that she's only a sophomore, and she's accomplished so much, she's contributed so much to the club, and I even had to turn to her as we were sitting there, and I was like, you're in 10th grade, right? Because I can't believe it, like all the maturity that she has, all of the great ideas that she comes forward with in the club. Next year, she's going to be our outreach coordinator for Math League. So we're gonna have a new aspect to Math League that we've never had before, where we're reaching out into the community and able to take all of our skills and help others around us. And Anusha's been a really big part in bringing that idea to the table and leading that moving forward. This year, she was really essential to our group, the organization behind it, all of the meetings that we've had and everything, planning all of the intricacies behind what we're doing. And even in the fall when she was involved in other activities and she had tennis, we would have a Math League officers meeting and she couldn't make it, but then I'd log on to our Google Doc and she had already taken a bunch of notes and given all her ideas and contributed before the meeting even started because she knew she couldn't make it. And so she always finds ways to balance her time really well, to make sure she's contributing equally to all these different clubs that she's a part of. And she's been such a great part to Math League. I'm so happy to know that I still have her for 2 more years. And I can't wait to keep working with her and having her help the club keep moving forward in this great direction.
So, as our Cardinal Awards, this is our 2nd annual Cardinal Awards, and it comes to an end. I always like to listen to all the words that all the advisors have to say, and just kind of take it all in. What what kind of students are being nominated, and really all different kinds. Clearly we're seeing some people who have exceptional leadership, and that did seem to be a theme time and time again. People who have, within their organization or club, taken on roles where they've mentored some of the younger students or just gone above and beyond. They were the ones that the advisors went to when they needed something done. But they always had it with a smile on their face. They did their job happily. And I really liked what Ms. Baldwin had to say, as she was one of the first people. She was the first advisor to go. And she said, I just wanted to pick someone because I liked her. And it comes down to, well, what makes people like other people? And it's all those qualities that we heard time and time again. It's that willingness to help. It's that going above and beyond, going the extra mile, having that smile on that face, taking on younger students to mentor them, to take them under their wing and show them the ropes. It's that can-do attitude that makes people just want to be around them. And I think that really, we had that all kind of all together here today with the 24 students with that same kind of attitude, with teachers and advisors who very happily and easily nominated these students because it was a very clear choice for them. So thank you all for coming. Congratulations to all our recipients. And please, we still have some more food, so please help yourselves to seconds and have a great, wonderful day and stay cool.